Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to the Royal Link Up podcast. We're on episode 25, quarter of a century in. We're nearly at 6 months. How is everyone doing? Devastate, how you doing? How was your weekend?
I am great, and everyone, welcome to our Halloween special. So it is the 31st of October. Well, it will be when you're watching this or listening to it. And yes, it's I'm very well. Fresh off of a good trip to London that myself, Beefy and Mason had at the weekend. Had a few beverages. But yes, I'm very good. And I've been grinding out EAFC this afternoon and this evening. And I'm glad I'm having a break and getting on the podcast and talking about everything else.
Indeed, and we will come on to EAFC later on. And we're joined today also by the man with some things trying to come through the window behind him. Who are you?
I am Vedak. Welcome to the Geekness.
And we're also joined today by it's a lion.
Yeah, welcome, the ferocious lion that is Mass. I'm rather warm.
Masanevre is here. He'll be taking that headpiece off fairly shortly. It's very warm and it sounds like he's in a wind tunnel. But yeah, we'll let him do that, and we'll carry on talking. So by the time this comes out, Vedak and I will be only a couple of days away from going to the League of Legends World Championship Finals at the O2. Make sure you tune in to the TikTok because we'll be doing some TikToks from the event as well. See if we can get some really cool videos as well, and maybe some interviews with fans as well, as if we see any. So make sure you're tuned into that. But should we crack on with? Well, actually, let's go through the agenda today. So we're going to touch on the following topics. We're going to talk about Tempest Rising. We're going to talk about Squadron 42. We're going to talk quite a lot about Black Ops 6 because obviously it's only just recently come out. We'll talk about FC25 as well. We'll talk about Kamala Harris in a form of gaming that you've never seen her before. We'll also talk about some games that we've played both at the link up and individually, which scare us as well. So we have a very, very packed agenda. So I will leave it to Vedak to kick off with the first one around Tempest Rising. Talk us through it, Vedak.
A game that I am so looking forward to. Old school RTS have just been dead for, I mean, really since Red Alert 3, I think was the last really good one, wasn't it?
I quite like Age of Empires 4. I think that's pretty good.
Yes.
Age of Empires 4 is pretty good.
This looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, you could be playing Command & Conquer with a modern day engine. This just looks fantastic. The sides are very much in the sort of the GDI and nod sort of era, and with cinematics, it's just going to be fantastic. It's a way of playing PvP on a closed beta at the moment, so I've signed up for that. So hopefully I get it.
And what's the release date? Do we got a release date on that?
Yes, it's I think at the 31st of December. I think that is currently
an interesting date to be launching a game.
Yes,
that's a bit of a truncated timetable around Christmas, to say the least.
That's what it says on Amazon, but on Steam it doesn't. It just says coming soon. So
we got a price on it.
I don't know if it's got.
There's no price on Steam at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's $39.99 on Amazon.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. It's not a Civ 7 type price that we need to discuss. But no, that sounds really good. That sounds good.
Some of the screenshots look a little bit reminiscent of the Warhammer style game, the 40k RTS that we used to play.
I can't remember what it's called.
Dawn of War?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the earlier screenshots, some of the initial screenshots I looked at look a little like that.
That's a series that got worse with every number. One was good. One was even brilliant. In fact, 2 was okay. 3 was, and 4 was.
Yeah. Right. No, that one sounds good. That one sounds good. Particularly if it's very Command and Conquer-esque, shall we say? I think a lot of us will that'll appeal to a lot of us, and probably one for the link up next year, I would think.
Hopefully.
Definitely one to add to the list for sure. Vedak, we'll come back to you again. Squadron 42. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so they over the last week they dumped loads of cinematics. This big, huge cinematic battle. It was all the cinematic shots from that battle, and you can see the cast of Gary Oldman and Mark Strong, Gillian Anderson, Mark Hamill, Henry Cavill. It was like watching a movie. I watched. I didn't watch all of it, because I thought, actually, I'm going to end up spoiling this. But what I mean, I can just imagine the game going alongside that. It gave me old Wing Commander vibes, with the old cinematics along with the space combat alongside it. And I think the guy Chris Roberts, who's the person behind it, because it's all linked to Star Citizen, isn't it? Absolutely, he was the person in charge of, or at least the person behind the old Wing Commander. So I think that's obviously where that spawned from, but can't wait for it.
We got a date?
Oh, it's like 2026 or something stupid.
Okay. So
I mean, they're releasing cinematics, and you're like, how long is this game? I mean, it's been in development for 10 years, surely.
I mean, nearly as long as GTA 6. I'll see. What did I see today? I saw it was GTA Vice City. It's 20 years old today. And you're like 20 years old. Yeah. I mean, it's just unreal. Anyway,
half the actors will be dead before this game comes out,
Yeah. Moving into more modern day times, Black Ops 6 is now very much in the foray and at the front of everyone's gaming, and literally all over my TikTok at the moment. A couple of things which I've noticed. So cheating is already absolutely rampant within the game, with lots of people basically saying that you either get you go into a lobby and there's just people cheating, or on the flip side, you get people who are just there streaming something and they're doing something completely ridiculous, not related to the game, just to be able to get views for YouTube. And it's rare that you actually get like a proper game out of it. I was watching someone on TikTok and they were basically saying what they need to do is have two servers. One for people who do work and just want to play it casually, enjoy the game in the evening. And then a server for everyone else who doesn't work, and literally they can do whatever they want on there. And I was like, resonates. I mean, that obviously resonate with us, given we all work, etc. But I quite like that. But going on to the point around people cheating and just doing a load of random stuff. Someone got the Dark Matter gun skin within 25 hours of the game launching, which is absolutely absurd, the amount of hours that they've had to put in to get that so fast. It was utterly absurd. But gameplay wise, has anyone played it? I haven't played it.
No.
I've seen quite a lot of gameplay. I'm not overly bowled over. I don't think it's anything special, if I'm honest. It looks like every other fairly recent Call of Duty game, to be honest. I may have a dabble, but very, very unlikely. There's nothing that's really appealing to me.
I'll probably go on, give it a try. Because it's part of Game Pass.
So the Xbox Pass, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'll probably wait until the first major patch is out for it. Because they'll
never pay the money for it, though.
No. Well, some people, if you're going to get your money's worth out of it, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're going to commit 100 hours to it, fine.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, it looks the game looks good. I've watched a couple of streamers playing it, but they're only playing it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they're like, right, had enough. Like, they're not even. And a lot of them have gone and played it, and then gone back to streaming their regular stuff.
Wow, that's mind blowing, isn't it? Like,
do you think that when something is on Game Pass, because you haven't committed to buying something, that actively, if you go, it's okay, you can just put it down. It's almost like a cheap gym membership.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Yeah. when you spend £100 on a game, you almost feel an element of compelled to play to try and get an element of your money's worth out of it.
But I think that's what the Game Pass is there for. I know we've done it quite a lot in the past at the link up, haven't we, Mass? In that we would essentially go, okay, what games are on Games Pass for the week of the link up, and then go and get the trial for £1 for the week or the month or whatever it is, and then we've basically got access to whatever games we want to play within the Games Pass for that short period of time, but for a tiny amount of money.
Yeah,
and like even the regular Games Pass price is still like it's £9 a month, something like that.
I think it went up a little bit, but yeah, it's not. It's not a lot. It's
not a lot of money. Yeah, it's not a lot of money at all, and I think that kind of makes sense to me. But moving on to a game close to Devastate's heart, FC25 has been slashed in price to $39.99, down 60% since release. And when did it release, Devastate?
So the full game has been out for a month.
1 month, and they've dropped the price 60%.
You mean telling me the base price of that game was £100?
Well, so you've got normal and you've got ultimate edition, and then the base is I think 55, and then 90 or 100 quid for the ultimate. But yeah, I played Champs Weekend League this weekend, and I thought it was everyone I played was fantastic, and usually that's different to like the first 2 weeks. And what that usually tells me is that some of the casuals have given up with the game. Now, I also do want to point out one thing, that yes, the price has gone down. On the 29th of October, so before this comes out, this tomorrow, according to Monday, but this will come out on Thursday, is EA's Q2 earnings call.
That will be interesting.
So, what, and that comes out at 9 p.m. UK time. But what that generally tells me, I have put in my business hat on, is that we're going to be presenting the numbers, and what they're doing is essentially saying, right, sales are down, but what we're doing is we've lowered the price to try and get more immediate sales, because realistically EA makes so much money from the store, from buying packs in the store, that they could give the game away for free. They don't need to sell the game. The store packs make up 79% of all the profit that EA make in the franchise.
What's the cheapest price on one pack?
I mean, you could buy a pack for £2. The cheapest decent pack, 25 quid.
But it's still random what's in it, isn't it? It's still gambling.
Oh yeah, it's all gambling. I mean, that's what I mean, it's a different thing to talk about. I have a massive issue with the store because I think it teaches kids to gamble. Yeah. So much so that I think in one of the Scandinavian countries they've actually banned you can't access the store in one of the unless you're over the age of 18.
That's fair.
But no, I think it's all down to trying to get more people on the game so they know they can make more money through packs. I think the core earn is cool. The numbers might be low. Some bits about the game I really like compared to last year. I think the sum of it is a better game. The problem is every single person is running the same tactics. And I'm in the middle of Division 2 at the moment. So you start in Division 10 and you go all the way up to, you've got Elite, Div 1, Div 2. And every team I'm playing against essentially has all the same players. Everyone's playing up 5 backs, 5 defenders, like a just meta sweaty formations, and it's not enjoyable at the moment. But almost you've got to go through this grind element to hopefully come out the other side, and hopefully, because the best time this game has is Black Friday. It's great fun. Winter Wildcards, which
that's only 3-4 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah. Then you got Sunny December, Winter Wildcards, which is a great promo. Then you have Team of the Year in January, and then you have Team of the Season in May. So those are like the big events that happen in the game. But I think it wouldn't surprise me if the numbers are really down at the moment, because they changed the requirements to play in the really high level game. They made less games, but like you had to be a lot better to get in.
Yeah.
And so I think it's put off some of the casual players.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. To be honest. But moving on, Devastate, back to you, Kamala Harris. What's she been doing in the campaign trail in the gaming world?
Well, so we never really touched on politics on this podcast, and rightly so. But I thought it was just quite an interesting point that Kamala Harris, they've launched a Fortnite map.
What, around her?
So the name of the map is called, bear me 1 second, it's called the Freedom Town map. And it's basically designed just to trigger people's thought process around the US election that's happening in November.
I mean, who, like, majority of people who play Fortnite, I'm going to guess, are 8 to 15, probably, yeah? They don't vote.
I would say that yeah, because you have streamers that play it who are.
Oh yeah. But the core of Fortnite is the people who can't vote, isn't it? Essentially, so yeah, it's just an odd one, bit of an odd one.
It might be to sort of energize that younger base, maybe, and get them involved in politics, perhaps, so that for another, maybe not just for this election, but for future ones. But also, I suppose that it's sort of a stereotype, isn't it? When you're younger, you tend to vote more when you're sort of to sort of like as a Democrat, maybe, and as you get older, you become perhaps a bit more conservative. So that's probably makes more logical sense why you would target Fortnite.
But, in the game, there were Kamala Harris.
Trump would be on there saying it would be election interference within a week. So,
yes.
Well, let's move on from politics.
We won't do politics. But yeah, I just thought it'd be quite nice, and so that there's a map code and stuff like that you can play that started today. So,
and moving on. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Is it having a remake? Have we had that confirmed?
Well, it sounds like we've got a developer who has taken on the mantle. And I'm just trying to... The name of the developer is called Saber Interactive. Now, they've got games available. They're the same people who did Space Marine 2. They're doing Jurassic Park Survival. They've got a couple of other games and VR games in there. But yes,
I wonder why BioWare aren't doing it. It's their game.
Yeah, well, they might have just licensed it. I don't know.
When was that? When did that originally release? Early 2000s? I want to say something like that.
2003.
Oh, so good. Yeah. So good.
But yes, it appears that yes, so it has been developed by Saber Interactive to be published by Lucasfilm Games. It was started under a different developer, but it looks like Saber Interactive have brought them in house to finish it.
Interesting. No date, I presume.
I mean, I would say that this is a while away.
Yeah, years. Anyway, as it's the Halloween theme, Masanevre, I think I'll lean over to you now. Let's talk through some games, because you've got a list. Do you want to talk through games that we've played either at the link up or individually, which have been, should we say, scary or scared us or Halloween-esque?
So, game-wise, single-player experiences that I've had personally, where I was quite scared by the game. One of my earliest memories is back in 1998 with the original Unreal game, where you sort of crash land on this planet, and as you sort of forge your way through into this cave, and then further down into it, there's sort of a piece of, all of a sudden this alien just sort of jumps out, and this music starts sort of kicks off, and you're getting chased all over the place. That was one of the sort of earlier experiences I had. I think there's I'd also give a nod to Quake, the original Quake. I wasn't a big fan of Quake. I preferred Duke Nukem, but I thought it definitely had a fantastic atmosphere. And also, I'd give a nod to Half-Life, the first Half-Life. I mean, the second one was great, but I thought the first Half-Life had a better atmosphere, particularly when you're have your back turned and you're having to try and heal, and you turn around. You've got to keep checking what's behind you to make sure that no monsters are coming or creeping up on you. But for me, the scariest game I've ever played would be one of the Resident Evil series. It is Resident Evil 4. Now, I don't think it was actually ever available on the PC. I think it was console
PlayStation only, I thought.
So it was a PlayStation game. Then it was ported to the GameCube, and then it got a re-release on the Wii, which is what I bought it on. And it was such a great game. It was terrifying right from the start. Absolutely brilliant. You still got your
Wii, haven't you?
I do, yeah. I do have the Wii still. But it was absolutely brilliant walking down to that village right very early on in the game, and then you're having to sort of escape into this house. These people who are all possessed, all coming up the stairs, and all of a sudden there's a guy with a chainsaw as well coming at you. Yeah, absolutely terrifying, but it's a very good game. But yeah, any experiences at all from anybody else at all in the past where you've been
I have
scared?
one particular game that scared me, and it's quite situational on which character you played, on how scared you were. And that was Alien vs Predator. If you've ever played it, you play as the alien, not scary. Play as the Predator, not scary. Play as the Marine, poop your pants. This pipe fell down in front of me, and I think the keyboard went one way, my mouse went the other way, and I went the other way. I thought I was going to kill.
We played that a lot of the link up, didn't we? Was it Alien vs Predator 2?
Alien, it's the second one, because Alien vs Predator is 99, which we did play at the very first Royal Link Up. But I completely concur with Vedak, playing that single player experience, and there's like a CCTV monitor, and you're looking, and the guy's interacting. He's telling you to go further up, but be cautious as you go up the corridor. It's very good. It's very atmospheric. It's a good game. Yeah. But we did play the second one a lot. Last Man Standing, where you have everybody starts as a Marine, and then one person, with the exception of one person who's an alien or a predator, I think, and then you're trying to take.
No, it's an alien, and every person they kill then becomes an alien.
Yeah.
That was good.
And it's your goal to basically outlast everyone else, isn't it?
Great game mode, really good.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I don't think I've really played any single player or frightening games, as it would be. I mean, I remember vividly like some stuff that I played in Halo where you just get sniped in the head out of absolutely nowhere, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? But I think for me, like the only sort of scared experience, should we say, would be probably Left 4 Dead 2 that we played at the link up quite a lot, because we would usually play that at night, like it is now, and there'll be no lights on, there'll be no little pumpkins, etc. It'll be pitch black in there and very quiet, 4-on-4, and then a zombie will come out of nowhere or a charger will come out of nowhere, and you absolutely, yeah. It was very good, very good. Really love playing that game.
There was a game that I stayed clear of, but I did watch some of the cinematics from it, and I was glad I stayed clear of it. And that was Alien Isolation, where you're on a space station being hunted by one alien, and you got that bloody sheepy tracker thing going beep, beep, beep. I'll be like poop. Poop.
I agree. It looked like a fantastic game and got really good reviews, but I was the same as Vedak. I concede. I chickened out.
Yeah, it killed me.
You were playing as Ripley's daughter, essentially, weren't you? Searching for Ripley, I believe. That's what the story was. But yeah.
Well, I suppose my first would have been Resident Evil 2.
One.
So I didn't have one. I went straight into Resident Evil 2. And I was very, very young. I mean, when did that game out?
Late 90s?
Yeah. I was really young.
97?
Saved up my pocket money. And I was like, right, there's 2 games that had just come out, and I wanted both of them, and I can only afford one. And one of them was Gran Turismo, and the other one was Resident Evil 2. And I was like, I don't know which one to get. And I ended up.
Tell you. Go on,
I ended up plumping with Resident Evil, and then sort of by the time I had completed that game, I had then saved up enough money to go and buy Gran Turismo.
I'll tell you what, Gran Turismo 2 was one of the best games that came out on the console. It had did it have Buck Rogers, didn't it? From I got a brand new car.
Oh yes, I think that was the intro thing.
Oh, that was. I tell you what, that game, absolutely. The tough, isn't it? The TUF Porsche.
I remember doing the. I think what was it? It was like something crazy, like the 200 lap or 300 lap, like version of like the Le Mans that they had in the game. And I just remember, like, I don't think I blinked for like hours. I'm just almost had like burning. I've watched the same thing over and over.
Was that on the PS1?
Yeah. Because Gran Turismo 3 was I think one of the launch titles for the PS2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that was a game.
My first real horror experience. Now I've got I can't remember the name, but I had some sort of horror game on the Mega CD for the Mega Drive. But I can't for the life of me remember it. But that, so yeah, Resident Evil 2, and then obviously other Resident Evils. Silent Hill was obviously incredibly, I would say a little bit more jumping. Then a bit more recent, The Evil Within is
The Forest was going to be quite scary.
Which one?
The Forest, wasn't it?
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, yes. I've heard of that. And I give The Evil Within a go, Vedak. I'm sure. No,
I don't want to. Honestly, I got terrified enough playing Ark in the dark when you're trying to find your way back to camp and suddenly some raptor comes out in your face.
Do I recall Hunt Showdown? Hunt Showdown was a little bit scary, wasn't it?
Hunt Showdown was one of the games on the list for the Royal Link. I think it wasn't just the fact that it had a great atmosphere. There was a real tension there because if you died, you didn't just die, you lost that character for good and everything that character had. So there was a lot riding on it. So it was a very good.
I remember it looking really good as well in terms of
good.
Graphically, just pleasing on the eye, shall we say?
Yeah, it was graphically pretty good. Yeah. So other games that we've played in the past at the Raw Link, some of which you may or may not remember. Damned was one of them. Do you recollect that at all?
Yeah.
So we played Damned. That was a randomized online horror game for up to 5 players, 4 survivors, 1 monster. You were able to play as one of the 4 people trapped in different haunted places, hotels, hospitals. So that was one.
2015 we played that last.
Deceit was another one.
Yeah.
We played. I think that was a very similar concept to Damned.
2018 we played that one.
Does anybody have any thoughts at all about either of those or any recollection?
I can't remember the second one.
I wasn't a fan of Deceit, if I'm honest. Really wasn't a fan of it.
Deceit, did it host more players? I can't remember. I think it was maybe there was more of us that could play in that
I don't think I played it because it's too scary. I remember falling off the raft and pooing my pants.
So we had other games that were similar to that as well. I think Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight.
I mean, Dead by Daylight, we played a lot of that game, haven't we?
We did play quite a bit of that, and that again was a sort of a...
That's a serial killer, isn't it, where he hooked you up on things.
Yeah, so that's one serial killer, multiple people have to escape. And then it's quite themed, so you can be like Freddy or Jason or...
Yeah, you could work together, I think, in that game as well, if you choose to.
2018 we played that.
Then we've got White Noise 2.
Oh yeah.
And then
is that the one in the snow?
No, that was... was that Project Winter?
Yeah, oh no, this is the one I was. This is one I was thinking of personally. I've only just looked at it now. So 2018 we played this. I remember this being pretty scary because it was like set in a hospital, pretty much, wasn't it? Most of it.
What game?
White Noise 2. 2018 by the looks of it. Last time we played it. Yeah, I remember vividly playing this. And yeah, that was fairly scary, particularly playing it at night time as well.
It's very similar sort of concept again to both Damned and Deceit. Similar sort of look.
Yep, I would agree with that.
The one that stood out for me at the link that I didn't play a great deal of was Phasmophobia. I thought that was very good.
Phasmophobia.
Has anybody got any thoughts on Phasmophobia?
Is that the one where you're ghosts and Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
So that's you're not thinking of the versus one. Phasmophobia is the one which is purely a co-op mode.
And you got to find the ghost.
You've got to find the ghost. You're going in with all this different equipment into the house. I got stuck in the room and I got possessed or killed by the creature.
Yeah, Rage played a lot of it. Lollipop played a lot of it.
Yeah.
Iceman played a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, really good co-op game actually, and definitely one of the best for a lot of tension, a lot of build-up. Not for the faint-hearted.
I don't think there's any other. Would we classify Subnautica as a bit of a horror game?
Again, that'd be too scary for me. Dustle completed it in VR. I can imagine that being quite an experience.
It's too scary for you, and your brother completed it in VR.
Yeah, I just have issues with water.
So I'm guessing depth wasn't one of your favourites either. Then
that's a anything where anything remote.
So in terms of water, so you don't like Ark when you go down with the scuba gear, etc.
No, it's not so bad because you're on the shark. Yeah. When you're armed with a shark, it's not so bad. When you're armed with a pair of flippers, then it's not good, is it?
Yeah, but then when a plesiosaur comes at you,
is it?
That wasn't the dangerous thing in the ocean. The jellyfish getting caught by one of those stupid things because you're going to lose you're going to die. Your wherever you just got hit by the jellyfish is going to die. You can't get out of it. Just.
Sorry, did we say Midnight Ghost Hunt at all?
No, I was just about to say, but I didn't find because it's a versus mode. I didn't find it
No, it was funny.
I didn't find it scary. Yeah, I agree.
It's more of a comical game, isn't it? It's
great game, but yeah, I didn't find it scary.
No, it's not.
Did in regards to the water, Vedak, I thought your issue with regards to that is that you can't see the sea floor. That's what the problem is it?
No, it's just big sharks.
Oh, just sharks in general. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You must have had a lot of fun with Jaws.
Oh yeah, Jaws terrified me as a child. Absolutely terrified. Honestly, my parents gave me blue carpet to torment me.
Vedak wasn't a child when Jaws came out because we obviously know that Vedak was born in the year 4300 BC, so he definitely wasn't a child when Jaws came out. We all were. No, Jaws was out before we were born.
76, I want to say.
Yeah,
Jaws was out before I was born.
You're lying.
It's 1970, I think Jaws is, isn't it? 1972.
Yeah, it's a long time after you're born. You were comfortably 3,500 years old plus. Anyway.
Obviously the biggest game that we would have played at the link up would have been Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Those are the games that comfortably the hours got put into them.
A lot of hours got put into them.
But yeah.
Although I only did apparently 23 hours on Left 4 Dead 2, which I can't believe.
Yeah.
And then Left 4 Dead again 23 hours again, and I'm like, there's no way we only paid. I mean, I've got 5,000. Oh no. Yeah, there's no way.
Did we have it on a different platform other than Steam?
What you think? We
no,
had it
because it's a Valve game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely yeah.
Because there's no way that I've only done 23 hours on or 46 hours combined.
Do you know what? You might be, because I'm 23 hours as well. 23.7 hours. I only ever played it at the link.
Nah. We played hours and hours every night for years on those games. We would play 3-4 hours every night playing those games. And
you must have only done a couple of links then.
Nah.
It must have only done 2 or 3 links. Yeah.
46. That just doesn't seem
I've
right.
only got 26 hours in Counter-Strike Source.
Really?
I've only got for 15 hours. No.
I've got 27 and a half.
20 hours on Team Fortress 2. Okay. 17 hours on Alien vs Predator. That shows you how that went.
Linking on for that, do we have? We briefly touched on Jaws. Do we want to talk about some films as well? Are you a big horror fan, Beef?
No, but my wife is, and I'll tell you a little story. So, my wife, what was the film, Masanevre? What was the film that we watched where we were? So I'll tell you the story, and then he can tell you what it is because he'll remember the film because I won't.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of. That film it was played out a bit like it's many sequels to it, and it played out a little bit like the Blair Witch Project, as if it was trying to sort of present itself as being real. It's where these two people. There's a CCTV camera in their bedroom.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah.
So my wife was absolutely petrified of this film. She was like, "You've got to watch this. It's absolutely scary as." So Masanevre come round, and so it was me, him, and my wife watching it. And me and Mas were. I'm not joking. We were crying with laughter at how funny and how unscary this film was. Literally, I remember just tears streaming down our faces, and my wife's like, "What? Why are you laughing? This is a scary film." And literally, they're crying with laughter.
Yeah, because I'm not really a massive horror fan myself, but that film that was actually funny. It was particularly when the chap came back saying that I've got to leave, I can't stay here anymore, because he'd come to investigate the house, hadn't he? And he obviously determined they had some sort of ghost. It was just his facial expression. It was just hilarious. I mean,
there were a few films as a child that scared me. Obviously, Jaws and Jaws 2 being without a doubt the most truly terrifying films. They used to give me night terrors. But there was also the day my friend introduced me to Alien. Poop. So watching that as a child, I should never have been anywhere near that movie. Oh my god, that was a big one. I also found it was a film called Them or It, and it was about giant ants.
Oh, ants.
Yeah, these giant ants. That really scared me. And the original Fog. Film of the Fog, Carpenter film, that scared me as well. And there was one other film that scared me as a child.
Children of the Corn? Was it Children?
No. Oh, Omen.
Omen.
The scene with the dogs, where the dogs chase that guy down. I watched that around my friend's house, and I had to walk back in the dark through the woods after watching that movie. I thought I was going to die. So scary.
I think my very first sort of horror film that I watched all the way through was Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think I must have been 13, 14. Watched that film. And like I just vividly remember like the scene where he gets pulled through the bed and like all the blood comes up onto the ceiling, and I was just like, that was the scene that got me.
I'll never sleep it again.
Yeah. But I really developed a phase looking back on horrors and thrillers. And watched a lot of sort of real gory. I mean, I would still like in my top 10 is the original Saw film. That's not really a horror film, but I'd say more of a thriller. It's more of a jump and gore type thing. But,
yeah.
But I would say that Blair Witch Project was
one. A story about that. So I've
got a funny story as well.
I watched that. And then when I came out of that movie, I went to a night airsoft game and ran around the woods with a machine gun, shooting people in the dark, in the woods, of the evening, the same day of watching the Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
And I can tell you, it didn't affect me at all. I thought, came out of the movie thinking, what a pile of crap. Because someone just get to buy an image stabilizer for their camera. It was so annoying.
To your point on the image stabilizer, that film was sort of groundbreaking in that respect, wasn't it? That like it sort of, I don't want to say paved the way, but it was a real sort of stake in the ground. And a lot of people from our era will remember that film vividly
because it was sold as if it were real, if it was a true story as well. But
the marketing was very, very clever to it.
It was.
I think I was, I want to say 15 when that film came out, and I went to the cinema.
October '99.
I went to the cinema with some friends. We watched it, and it finished about like 10 o'clock, and we were all walking home from the cinema, and we had to walk through this park. So we walked down, and there's like a guy dressed in black just sat on a bench, and there was no light. It was like we just saw him, and we were like we're just walking along, and no word of a lie. We walked for another 5 minutes, and then there's like a bridge that goes over a stream, and there's a guy just all in black, like looked identical, just stood straight up, like as we're walking up, and we're like, what in the hell is going on? And so I'm not even. We run. We absolutely ran, and like it's one of those most vivid things, like to this day, that sticks with me.
But that was an 18 when it came out, wasn't it? It was an 18. Yeah. So Jaws was a PG.
No, Blair Witch Project must have been a Blair Witch Project must have been a 15.
It might have been 15.
It has to have been. Because you didn't really. It was all about your imagination rather than what you didn't actually see anything, did you? In the Blair Witch Project, it's all about what you.
It was more of insinuation.
Yeah.
But Jaws was a PG.
Yeah, it was a PG.
Shut the front door.
Honestly, that first scene with that woman, getting dragged with the boy going like that. Oh my god, that was it. I was done with water at that point.
If that film came out today, though, it would probably be a 12.
Yeah.
12 or 15, one of the two.
It probably, yeah. Any other big film?
I mean, I didn't really get into sort of horror-ish films, like, at all. I watched a lot of really, really good films, as Masanevre knows. But yeah, not really any horror. Yeah, Bab. I really enjoyed the Resident Evil films. Like, not that they're like horrors, but like I really enjoyed those.
The remake was good. The recent remake, that was quite good, wasn't it?
I haven't seen them. I'm talking about the old ones with what's her face?
Miller.
Yeah.
Sienna Miller?
No. I forgot what her name is.
Miller.
Yvonne, yeah. Her. Yeah, I really enjoyed those. Yeah, I never really got into sort of horror films, and didn't really do it for me.
Me neither. I still haven't seen Romulus, Alien Romulus.
No, I really want to watch that. I
want
to go back and do the whole Alien. I want to do all the aliens in proper order.
No, there's some of them are. The fourth one was so bad.
Which was the one that we saw most recently, Mass?
Prometheus is what we watched together. Yeah, we watched. Yeah,
I quite like Prometheus. That's one of
they're not bad.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I really like Prometheus as well.
Because that was over in what, 7, 8 years ago?
No, I think that actually came out in 2012.
It did.
It makes no sense to the law that existed for aliens before that, but it was all right. The second, I had a problem with the second one because it's set this many years in the future and they've all got GoPros stuck on their shoulders. I was like, really?
Well, I know one that you really like, Scott. Alien versus Predator. That's a really good film, isn't it?
I like the first one. I actually quite enjoyed the second one that was set in the town. Because that was like a modern day town, wasn't it? And I thought that was quite interesting. There's this little kid looking out the window going, "Mummy, there's a monster out there." She's seen an alien crawl over a fence. It's like,
oh, do you know what? I really like Predator, like the original.
Oh yeah, I mean, like
classify that as a horror film, though, would you? That's just a.
They got worse with age, even though the latest one was quite good. Prey.
I think everyone from our era would appreciate the original Predator.
Yeah, with Arnie in it. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Get
to the chopper.
Well, I'll tell you what, peeps. In the comments below, give me your favourite horror film and your favourite horror game, and it'd be really interesting to see what people say. Same with all the Spotify people as well. You can add comments down below. So. Let's hear what all your favourite games, because we've definitely missed something big on both the gaming 100%. and on the movies front.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, drop them in the comments, and we'll go through those next week. But Vedak,
Red Rum, The Shining.
Oh, of course, The Shining.
Yeah,
that was a good film.
The thing is, I didn't find that scary at all. But I think it's maybe because by the time I came around to watch it, I was so desensitized to a lot of the horror that when I was the only scene that ever really got me was when they spoiler alert, when the two girls are just in the corridor and then it's flash and then they're gone again. That make me jump. But apart from that, I didn't find any of it particularly scary.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. We would love it if you could drop a like and a subscribe on the video below. Any engagement that we get, we absolutely love. Any comments that you want to see on, or any comments around what you want to see on the channel, or what you don't want to see. I mean, I'd like to see Masanevre do a whole episode with the full lion headgear on. And just see what the state of that would look like at the end, for sure. But yeah, until next time, I've been Beefy the Legend.
My name's Beefy and Devastate. Please give us a like and subscribe.
I'm Vedak. It's been awesome as always.
And I've been Masanevre. Tofu. Rah!
Cheers, guys.
Bye.